Does Pennsylvania and its 19 electoral votes hold the keys to the White House? Well, if you look at the candidate schedules this election eve, it appears that is what they believe. Let's bring in our political panel, Maura, Gillespie, and Mariel Saez. Maura previously served as an advisor to former House Speaker John Boehner and Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. Mariel is a Democratic strategist who previously served as director of broadcast media on President Biden's White House communications team. Happy election eve to both of you. I know you celebrate, as we do here. Mariel, let's start with you. Everyone, certainly on your side of the aisle, is talking about this poll that was conducted on behalf of the Des Moines Register, suggesting that the vice president may win that state narrowly. How excited has it made Democrats? Should it make Democrats? And are you among those that believe it might actually be true?
Well, look, I don't like to put stock in any one poll, but I think what we're seeing with the latest trend of polling is that late deciding voters are breaking toward Harris. And I think that's because she has a message that resonates with them, that's focused on them, and she's putting forward a positive, optimistic vision for a future, a leader that is focused on them and their concerns. And, you know, I think abortion definitely plays a role in this. One thing from the Iowa poll that stood out to me was that women, particularly older women and independent women, were breaking for Harris. And I think you look at the issue of abortion and, you know, Trump really owning and bragging about overturning Roe, and these women saying, look, we don't want that future for our daughters, our granddaughters, and future generations, and we're ready to turn the page.
Well, what do you make of that number specifically, the over 65 number? Because, and I know the argument is she may be wrong with her poll, Ann Seltzer, but what it might signal is such a massive advantage for Harris among women voters, even in traditionally red states, that margins could be closer everywhere across the country tomorrow night.
It could be because of the fact that people remember, women especially remember what it was like before some of these laws were in place, right? You have these over 65 that remember what it was like before they had access to birth control and had the right to be at the table, you know, in a lot of ways. And so I think that unfortunately, I don't think it necessarily is about Kamala Harris. I think it's more about Donald Trump. And what he represents is misogyny. And in a large way, women do not want what he is telling us this week, and especially this past week, where he has made comments about how he's going to look out for us, protect us, whether we like it or not. That kind of derogatory, again, talking about us in ways that we are almost flippant. He has not tried to get the women's vote. He has largely ignored us, aside from these side comments, aside from calling any woman who he disagrees with low IQ and a dumb woman. That's not going to help you get the women's vote, talking about us that way.
Let's say he loses because of that, because women in the battlegrounds and in other states vote against him, vote against other down-ballot Republicans. How quickly does the rest of the GOP learn that lesson? Or are they all going to go, oh, no, that was his problem. I feel differently about women, and I take them more seriously than he does. I mean, what kind of reckoning will there be?
I think you're going to see a lot of people who say either, oh, I never even saw him say that, or I never heard him say that.
Exactly.
I would never have supported him if I knew that. So unfortunately, we're going to see that in the years to come. But this is year 12 of us having Donald Trump at the top of the Republican presidential column. And I'm not alone in when I say it. I am very ready for this to be over.
Mariel, we see the vice president spending today in Pennsylvania, the same thing that President Biden did 4 years ago. You think that could work? And do you think, absent Pennsylvania, she has any shot at winning the White House?
Well, look, there's no doubt that it's going to be very close in Pennsylvania. It's certainly neck and neck, but there's a lot of reason for optimism. The campaign went out and knocked 1.5 million doors this weekend alone. And the vice president, as you mentioned, is traveling the state today. And I think what you're seeing is, again, these late deciding voters swing her way because she's putting forward this optimistic vision. She's been very strategic about courting Republicans and independents and demonstrating and saying to them, look, I can be a president for you. I can be a president for everyone. I'm going to work across the aisle to get things done for you. And, Trump, unfortunately, has been on pretty much a revenge tour on the stump. And so, I think voters are exhausted by it and ready to turn the page, especially in the state of Pennsylvania.
Maura, we saw Nikki Haley publish a new op-ed titled, "Trump isn't perfect, but he's the better choice." Do you think that works with Republicans who don't like Trump's rhetoric?
No, because again, think about the fact that Nikki Haley went back on her word and said, that even despite all the things that Trump said about her, she said, I'm going to go out there and support him. She showed up at the RNC. That's the last time we saw her out there with Trump. He has not invited her, welcomed her at all because she spoke poorly about him. And that's the kind of man that Trump is. And so, no, I don't think that this is giving her any credibility in terms of Republican circles, but not so much to Republican voters either, unfortunately.
In our remaining moments, I'm curious, this last day, election eve, is a terribly frustrating one for journalists because essentially you've done everything you can and it's left in the hands of voters. How did either of you, when you worked on campaigns, spend today and tomorrow waiting for results?
I'll go first. If I were, Kamala Harris, I would stop at a Wawa. I'm just going to put that out there. Coffee is important, and Wawa does it best. So
she's more of a tea drinker, but I give it. Mary, how about you?
That's right. I mean, look, it's all about the ground game. That's why you're seeing her and the campaign hold these concerts all across the battleground states, really try to mobilize, energize voters. And look, I fully agree with Maura. I don't think a Wawa stop would hurt.
I think a nap would help. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I would spend part of tomorrow. Maura, Gillespie, Mariel, Saez, thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed.